In this world of uncertainty, who is keeping an eye on vital U.S. interests in these turbulent times of regional instability? Renegade states with fanatic regimes, terrorism, injustice, danger. As long as these conditions exist, there will always be a need for the United States Army. And make no mistake, every soldier in today's Army is important. But now, more than ever, world situations need special responses, special operations with special warriors, special soldiers, special forces. Soldiers who want the greatest challenge the Army has to offer. Soldiers who want a role in shaping world history. If you're one of these men, get ready. Special Forces is just the career you're looking for. A career steeped in proud tradition. Special Forces can trace their heritage to World War II's 1st Special Service Force and the Office of Strategic Services, better known as the OSS, who helped pave the way for an Allied victory. And in this tradition, throughout modern history, Special Forces have played a key role in the fight for freedom. And the fight for freedom continues to this day in virtually every corner of the world. As a member of today's modern Special Forces, you'll be part of a unique 12-man team with a real-world mission. The Special Forces A-Team, tight-knit, trained to strike hard and fast, truly warriors. Force multipliers with missions unlike any in the conventional Army. Diplomat, doctor, defender, and always an ambassador of U.S. goodwill, trained in unconventional warfare, sabotage, counterterrorism, special reconnaissance. Special Forces teams are prepared to operate in all types of environments, from city streets to jungles, from the deserts to the mountains, infiltrating enemy territories by air, land, and water, using all types of weapons, from the most basic to the most advanced. The way in which the battle is waged separates the Special Forces from the rest of today's Army. Of course, not all missions are combat-related. You may be involved in civic projects in foreign countries, building schools and hospitals, or training indigenous forces in military operations. In fact, a primary mission of Special Forces involves teaching your skills to foreign forces, hence Special Forces' reputation as the world's greatest instructors. 12 men capable of training, advising, and leading up to a battalion-sized force. 12 special men, dedicated, determined, devoted, committed. 12 team players, an A-Team, the heart and soul of Special Forces. The Special Forces A-Team is composed of the Detachment Commander, 18 Alpha, a captain responsible for planning and leading the mission. A Warrant Officer, 180 Alpha Assistant Detachment Commander and second in command. A Master Sergeant is the Team Sergeant, or 18 Zulu. The Team Sergeant plans and conducts team training. The Special Forces Intelligence Sergeant, MOS 18 Foxtrot. This senior SFC is also the Assistant Team Sergeant. 218 Bravo Weapons Sergeants, experts in U.S. and foreign light and heavy weapons, small unit tactics, and combined arms fire control planning. 218 Charlies, Engineer Sergeants, experts in demolitions, basic construction, and force protection. 218 Delta Medical Sergeants, trained in combat trauma management, advanced medical treatment, and basic surgical procedures. And 218 Echo Communication Sergeants, experts in radio and communications. 12 men making a difference. They once sat where you now sit. How do you qualify? You can apply regardless of your present MOS if you are a male with a GT score of at least 100. You volunteer for airborne training, can qualify for a secret clearance, and can score the required points on the Army Physical Fitness Test in the 17 to 21 age group. The first step to becoming a Special Forces soldier begins at Fort Bragg, North Carolina, home to Special Forces. Upon successful completion of the 6 phases of the Special Forces qualification course, you will be presented with the coveted beret and start your challenging career. Phase 1 is Special Forces Assessment and Selection. Most of the volunteers consider this phase the most physically challenging of the qualification course. SFAS will test your physical and mental stamina. Assessors train, coach, and mentor. They also evaluate every candidate's performance to identify those who warrant future Special Forces training. Individual events allow assessment of a candidate's conditioning, motivation, and ability to handle stress. The team phase of selection focuses on leadership and teamwork skills. During Phase 1, you will also receive training and testing in terrain association and land navigation. Studying these techniques before you get here can help you through the course. To be successful in this phase, you must be physically fit. You need to assure you are mentally and physically conditioned for the rigors of heavy rucksack marches, swim evaluations, daily physical training, day and night field exercises, and the infamous obstacle course, appropriately named Nasty Nick. You can't go where your mind and body won't take you. Additionally, you must give 100% of your effort each day. Don't give up on yourself or your abilities. Always maximize your effort. Don't let the obstacles beat you. Beat them. And finally, think positively. Be confident and a self-starter, but not boastful. If you remain patient, focused, and motivated, you are well on your way to success. Listen to your Special Forces recruiter. He can provide you with many of the details on what you need to do before you start. Upon completion of Phase 1, each candidate is assessed and graded. If selected, you will then PCS to Fort Bragg. Upon arrival, enlisted personnel who are not PLDC or BNOC graduates will receive this training prior to attending Phase 2. In Phase 2, you'll receive training and testing in basic weapons and small unit tactics. Your small unit tactics training will encompass patrolling, conducting raids and ambushes, and hand-to-hand combat. Small unit tactics is critical to the survival of your team. Also, as a Special Forces warrior, you will often travel to distant countries to teach conventional tactics to foreign soldiers. Although Phase 1 is tough, Phase 2 is just as physically and mentally challenging, with ongoing intensive training. Once you have successfully completed Phase 2, you will begin Phase 3, where you'll train in one of the 5 SF specialties: weapons, medical, engineer, communications, or SF officer. Additionally, during Phase 3 MOS training, enlisted personnel will complete the proponency requirements for the MOS phase of BNOC, MOS 18 Bravo, the Special Forces Weapons Sergeant, the Army's foremost weapons expert. Train for 13 weeks to become an expert in U.S. and foreign light and heavy weapons, indirect and direct fire weapons systems, small unit tactics, and combined arms fire control planning. If you are detail-oriented, you will enjoy this MOS. MOS 18 Charlie, the Special Forces Engineer Sergeant. 13 weeks of training in demolitions, basic construction, and force protection. You'll also be trained to conduct reconnaissance, target analysis, and target interdiction operations. Additionally, you will learn how to construct buildings, bridges, shelters, and obstacles. If math is your strong suit, this MOS is for you. MOS 18 Delta, the Special Forces Medical Sergeant. He's the closest thing to a doctor Special Forces have on many missions, providing emergency and routine medical and dental care for the team and indigenous people while deployed. 46 weeks of training includes instruction in basic surgical procedures, combat trauma management, basic dental care, plus a variety of disease-related illnesses. You'll receive paramedic training and basic veterinary care for mission-related procedures. Academically, 18 Delta is the most challenging MOS in Special Forces, but also the most rewarding. 18 Delta medical skills have saved lives on countless missions. MOS 18 Echo, the Special Forces Communications Sergeant. Echo